I'm an artist, so I'm just coincidentally on the canvas, coincidentally at the same time. But that's the thing, like, people don't pay attention to that. Like, they gloss over that it's just an image, and this image has been tweaked with lighting, it's been tweaked with all these things, and people don't see that. They just see this perfect face. And that's, I think, where it kind of takes that humanity out. So when they see that negative stuff, or they hear about negative stuff, it's not that they want to see negative. It's nice to know that there is that contrast. And that's something that I think, with you doing this kind of stuff, it is showing people that there is a humanitarian, like, human kind of, like, vibe going with it. The people you bring on are all very, like, successful. They're intelligent. They're very outgoing. You would never expect walking down the street to know that the stories that they've gone through. And that's something, even with yourself, like the stuff that you've gone through. Look, like meeting you at the shop, I never was like rationalizing those two scenarios. And like doing that and blending the two, again, it's that human. I was on a not a big anti-anxiety drug at that time. I think it was Cipralex that I was taking at that time. But I've gone through phases, and that was one of them where I was on medication because I was like, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this on my own. I might need the help of that little fucking pill to get me through this.
Well, that's why I smoke weed.
And
I'm not saying weed's like a cure-all.
There's been a few.
I still feel depressed with dope.
There's been a few people that have been on here that have said, you know, for me, that actually has the opposite effect. I'm one of the people that get more anxiety. My heart starts pounding. So obviously, I mean, for me, weed doesn't do the trick. For some people, it does.
Yeah, and that's where I'm saying every aspect of a person, it has to be individually diagnosed, and this is where it's difficult where you give them a pill, because like for you, like you seem like a person that being proactive is a big thing that pushes you towards things.
Absolutely.
And like that's something that me and you, I think, both share. But somebody that needs these medications because it works perfectly. I see people that jump between medications and then they finally find one. There's so many different like coping mechanisms. It's so hard to hone in on the one that's just for you.
It is.
It really, really is hard.
And it's an experiment too. Even the doctors with the medications, they don't know what's going on in here just as much as you do. They have to test it. So I remember that like through all my early 20s, I was on and off of these drugs, and I felt like a fucking lab rat for a little bit, right?
Well, and that's understandable too, because like you also don't know how it's going to affect you in the hormonal imbalance. Because like because like if your body responds negatively to it, it could amplify your symptoms. So that's where it's really, really hard, and these doctors really do try to like really like finesse like which proper pill you should be on. But it's unfortunate, though, that some people, they're so quick to self-diagnose, they don't want to get the medical help. And then...
Or they're impatient, too, because those take, you know,
take
two to three...
They pop them when they're sad, but it's like you have to continuously dose yourself.
You have to take 2 to 3 weeks. So that's where I was bad, too. I'd be like, you know, I'd be in there and I'd be like, are you taking your medication? Yeah, but I'm also, you know, drinking and staying out for 2 days doing a bunch of blow. So obviously I can't expect to feel amazing.
Well, and also diet. I have actually suffered from a really severe eating disorder. I actually went through anorexia for a while. I also had my drug addictions, which coincided. I used to be about 250 pounds.
Really?
I was a little chunky monkey.
Wow.
And it was great because, like, when I was younger, I was healthy. I loved my food, all this stuff. It took one comment from a teacher that told me I was too fat, and I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to eat anymore. I, like, maybe ate a meal a week. If I was eating throughout the day, it'd be like crumbs. And, like, from that, my depression went
no kidding.
And actually, until probably, I want to say about 4 months ago, like, I honestly would say, like, my eating disorder is starting to become manageable now.
Good.
Like, it's taking years. And, like, honestly, even with, like, your diet, though, your diet changes your feeling.
Yes.
Because I was deprived of all this nutrition. I was waking up tired. I was waking up sore. I was miserable, like, irritable as hell. What they call hangry.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
That feeling. I do like my food. And I honestly, from eating more, as much as, like, my depression is still there, which I keep saying, because I'm not trying to say that it's gone. Because you can never just get rid of it. It takes a long time. It takes experience.
You become better at managing it.
Yeah, exactly. And the frequency goes down once you figure out the proper coping.
Like,
coping techniques.
Sure. And when you're not afraid of it.
That's it. And that's a huge thing is, like I said, putting that mask on it's just like hiding like a monster in the dark. You know it's there, and it could just pop out at any moment, and that's where it catches you off guard. But eating is a huge thing. As much as, like, even with myself, I still have a huge issue with it. Like, it takes a lot. Getting out of anorexia, anybody who has been through it, super difficult.
And to get all pumped for food now and like do that, it's changing my mind. It's changing how I think. It's changing how I approach things, my energy.
So food is medicine in a way.
Food is medicine.
Okay.
Eat lots of spinach.
Okay.
So it's very important.
Okay.
But like that's the thing though, is like when I look at like you have to look at all those factors because it's situational, it's long term. You have diet, you have exposure to your people that you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah, sure.
And when you are around negative things, like getting possibly arrested, things like that, like the taboo things that are supposed to stay taboo, like those bad things.
Yeah.
Being exposed to that, also another way to bring yourself into depression because when you lose it, because I used to have, like I said, my drug addictions. I was in jail. I've had some fun.
Okay. Okay.
I say that with a joke. But, but that's the thing.
It probably wasn't funny at the time.
Not at the time.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like I've done some stupid stuff, and from that, like when I lost everybody, when I wanted to give it up, I lost all those people, and to have to start again, start from scratch.
Yeah.
That amplified depression again. So like who you expose yourself to, and if they're negative in your life and they won't be there long term, you're just setting yourself up for more exposure to different situations that could make you feel less than adequate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that a lot of people kind of like again gloss over. Oh, we've known each other 10 years, 15 years. If this 10-year or 15-year friend is willing to let you do things that are detrimental to your health or your future, that's going to come back. These people that...
It's not worth it.
Yeah, people that drop out of school that are depressed now that they have a shit-paying job. And even with myself, I didn't graduate high school. I had to go back and pay for all my colleges and catch up for everything. And it was ridiculous because I was watching people my age having these exquisite jobs, and I'm sitting there making paper. That was what I used to do. Yeah, I used to make freaking paper. So that's a pretty lame thing. So
you were comparing yourself?
Yeah. And you do it, and that's something that...
I know we do it.
It's your
fucking
social.
every day.
It's your social. Like, if you're around people that are successful, you want to be successful. It inspires you.
But what's your definition of success, right? I mean, those people could have been completely miserable, and you could have been content with what you're doing.
This is true, but like if you look at it in the sense of, is what I'm doing going to be something I need in the future? If it's something like your character is the easiest thing to break and the hardest thing to make. Mm-hmm. It is the most difficult thing to even define. And when you have people that are kind of directing the way it's supposed to be projected, oh, I'm going to be a hard ass when I'm with these people because it looks cool, or I'm going to go and rob somebody or fight somebody or just be a piece of shit or just something like that. You're setting yourself up, because even if deep down inside you know that you don't want to be like that and you don't think it's going to be long term, why eliminate all that time to succeed in whatever fashion? You can be the best nude model in the world, or you can become a porn star, or you can become a sex therapist. Doesn't matter. But as long as you put your energy into something that actually means something to you. Yeah. If it's something that's temporarily making you feel good, the longevity of it is counterproductive.
Yeah, sure.
Like there is things that you can enjoy, little like bursts of like excessive pleasure, but things that are going to affect your long run. Yeah. That's going to set you up for depression as well. It's who you're around. Yeah. And the mindset that they project. I see tons of people that are in these stagnant mentalities, and they hang out and they kind of just sit and they don't go to work and things like that. And that's really hard on them because they're depressed. They don't have money. Yeah. And they're depressed. They don't have things to do. That's the thing. Like, you have to analyze. Every person needs to analyze themselves. Sure. And they have to break it down.
Not every person's willing to do that, though.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what this is really about too. Is bringing on people like yourself that aren't afraid to say, hey, this is all the shit that I went through. I own it. A lot of it was caused by myself.
100%.
I'm hoping that you guys will learn from my mistakes. Yeah. I know when I was younger, people could have come on the show and told me everything, and I still wouldn't have fucking listened. Yeah. I still would have had to do it myself. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that there will be those people that at least don't feel alone, and they know that they can come and reach out. And
sometimes people that they do feel alone, like they're living in the situations I'm talking about, where it's detrimental to themselves, and it doesn't have to always be extreme. But I do find that it is a pyramid scheme. There is tons of layers to it. There's so many bricks to it. You have a lot of people that they just kind of think, oh, it's just my chemical imbalance. No, it's a bunch of stuff. Right. And with when it comes to these types of people, yes, like they may not want to retain it publicly, but you never know who's going to be creeping your Facebook or creeping the pages or just searching suicide. Right. And things like this, it pops up. Right. You never know what you're going to change their mindset. For me, it was something as simple as Robin Williams, with his suicide.
Fuck, that was a big one.
That was so sad. Yeah. And I still, I just watched Hook a month ago. Yeah. Tribute to the dude. He was awesome. He still is.
He is.
Yeah, he is. He is the king of like comedy. I don't care. Doubtfire all the way. But that's the thing though, is like that man has projected his whole life to make someone happy, and like he was even miserable.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and that was because he's in this public eye. He didn't put that out there that much.
No.
And that's the thing with a lot of people. Like the more public it is, the more relatable. When I saw that, I was like, oh my god. Like, and it was a reality check to myself. Even though I'm not no celebrity and I'm not somebody that's dealing with everything he's dealing with, it's the fact that someone like him is feeling the same way as someone like me.
Sure, absolutely.
And that's, I
think, we're all equals at the end of the day. You know, we're all human, and that's
And that's where I think the access to this is the best thing to actually be putting out there, is putting out the realism. That's it. Like, don't filter yourself, don't censor yourself. If you want to be that honest about who you are, speak. Like, speak about it, because a lot of people are so scared, and when they do it, man, it's amazing to see the relief that washes over their face.
I agree. 100%. So Kimmi has now given us a ton of stuff on anxiety, depression, coping skills, how she's dealt with it. Now let's get into the happy side of things, because we have a gentleman here.
Yes.
Tell me about... Hello. And tell me about how long has this been going on?
It's only been a couple months.
Okay.
But we pretty much
phase.
Well, we just said 4 months yesterday.
Yeah, 4 months.
4 months.
Actually, it's been really nice, because in the sense, like, I just got out, well, not just got out, a couple of years ago. I got into, I was in a 3-year relationship, had a very bad breakup, actually spiraled me back into my depression, which caused me to do some of like the art and stuff that you see actually that I post now.
Yeah.
But actually with meeting him, I must say, one, it feels like I've known you like forever.
That's good.
Which is really nice. It's refreshing. Intellectually, we very much get along, and it's really great because, like, honestly, I don't think I've ever had somebody that I can actually articulate my feelings with and have them dish right back with the same intelligence. And I love that. It's really refreshing.
Cool.
And then on top of that, he's got a wide variety of interests and a perspective that I've never experienced before. He's very calm and genuine.
You seem very laid back, for sure. I like it. Yeah,
I try.
You've got a good calming energy just sitting there, for sure.
He's wonderful. Like, he's the most positive person I've ever known. Like, he literally doesn't get angry. He's very, like, collected. He evaluates a situation, responds to it accordingly, and it's something I actually emulate. I wish I could actually emulate so much. Like, I admire you so much for that.
You're too sweet.
But that's the thing, though, is like it's about that balance, and he's definitely brought me to a balance. Even last night, he was sitting there explaining to me that I overthink. I'm really bad for overthinking.
Sure. Yeah.
And he was explaining the reasons and what it could do to change my life if I tried not to overthink, and he was right.
What did you say to her?
Well, I was freaking out about work.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Basically, you can think of every worst case scenario. At the end of the day, it's just going to be normal.
Yeah, sure.
You're just basically going to be going back to not essentially square one, but it's just going to be another day. You're going to get past it.
Yep.
And you're not essentially going to repeat the cycle, but it's a brand new experience.
Yeah.
And you can start anew. You don't have to carry on what happened from the past day and expect the absolute worst to occur at the next.
Sure.
Why basically put yourself in a pit of woe and doubt and basically make yourself suffer, torture yourself for hours, if not even days, months, years. And
you're going to remember it.
Exactly. Yeah. When at the end of the day, realistically, you're not experiencing what you think you're going to experience.
Right. We always build things up. So basically what you're saying is it's you know, unless it's a life or death situation, most of the time it's way worse in our minds.
Exactly. There's a billion different outcomes.
Right.
And in life, you always have options. They're not always the best of options, but you always have options no matter what.
Sure. You have the choice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not like you're just given a hammer and you start expecting everything to be a nail.
Right.
You literally have this multi-tool that you can use towards anything, and it's just dependent on how you want to actually visualize that.
Right.
You can get yourself stuck in a pit of woe way too easily, I find.
Absolutely. Very cool.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. Super smart and super refreshing. So that's why, like, I must say, like, that this relationship is definitely something I must say, even in the short duration of time, the 3-year relationship I was in was what actually, I think emotionally, it definitely put me into a very stagnant state. It was a very horrible experience, and I honestly, like, was pretty much like how I said, woe is me, and I thought I was going to never ever come across a human being with an ounce of compassion.
Right.
And I come across this one, and he literally...
What a lucky girl.
He's literally just...
Or I'm a lucky one.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. Yeah.
So he's literally been just nothing but an excellent support team. Like, I can honestly say in the 3 years I lived with the person, and I didn't feel as supported as I feel in this situation. I think that I had to go outside my comfort zone. I had to actually go and talk to him. And it was something that, honestly, as much as it is really fresh, I honestly feel it's a lot more genuine than something I had long term. And sometimes somebody that walks into your life very